Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're live at Homestead Miami Speedway. It is the Bonehead 141 presented by Zine Zone here at Homestead Miami Speedway. It's time to bring the drivers to Homestead, Florida, and see who can bring home the speed and the power. They're live on the show right here and now. It is all coming to you live here on the track of PT Racing TV Showcase. Hi everyone, I have the Crusader Christian Schreiber joining you guys here today, and yes, I'm still on vacation, so yes, you still got to steal the old little green tabs up top there. There's nothing I can do about it, guys. Sorry, but that's all we've got really in store for that end. But here is the big kicker today: the hard racing and hard charging about to be presented here on the track. About to see some serious speeds kicked up and a few heavy hitters thrown down right on the show. We'll see how everyone does here as we get ready to go. Tony Westcott joins us in as well, saying hello everyone, good luck out there. Thank you for tuning in, Tony. So let's take a look at our field of drivers here today here, of course, and you're going to have to excuse me for 1 second. I may have or may not have messed up on my end, so I need to go ahead and check something real quick. There's a whole host of drivers that I need to literally go and take a look for, and I need to look at, so you can blame that on me, or I can tell you that I can let you guys have that one. That is my fault. I apologize. Still not used to the old way of doing it. Alright, we got them all set now. Let's get a look at the starting lineup today. It looks like on the pole, we will see the number 15. That is going to be Ryan Dye in the number 1 spot. To his outside, though, that will be piloted by Jeff Langston in the number 21. Run number 2, it is Andy Blinken. 32 is outside. It's 2, John Kay. Run number 3 is Michael Dean. The same 3 is outside. It is the 28. That is Rodney Roberts. Run number 4 is Eric Breeden. 26 outside. Paul Ellison. The 55 is outside. 99, Will Salamoni. Run number 6 is Nathan Reynolds. And the 51 is outside. The 8, Cole Maxwell. Run number 7 is Jeremy McKinnon. The 12 is outside. The 53 is Kyle Zittel. Round number 8 is Brantley Guinea, and the 22 is outside the 5, Jan Van Leer. Pascal Samar in the 76, the 50 of Corey Rutherford. Shane Winsloff in the 35, the 1 is Bobby Anderson. David Vey, and the 88, the 18 is Kyle Dumig. Michael Crawl in the 11. The 49 is Paul Sargent, and Chad Stearns rounding the 05 as well out. We are racing. We're green. We're going. Whew. I think we got all that out of the way at least right now. So hit them down to the track. Let them field them onto the speeds. We've got a heavy litter set list right now running their way down across the plains here. Every driver for themselves as we go through our first set of corners. Bonehead 141 is on the track and on the playing field. The Venom Truck Series drivers right now facing their way to the track. Andy Blicky in the 32, currently holding down the third spot. Meanwhile, behind him, though, has some company coming right behind him. You can see that is the 21. That is Mr. Jeff Langston. Langston right up ahead of that, too. John K. right now trying to find some speed to get back up there with him. Maybe make some room for him. If there's any room, see if there's any kind of obstacles or any kind of openings he can take or any shots he can really get from this spot here as he continues to maneuver his way down across the track. It is so far so good, clean as a whistle with some battles coming through the field. The 73 now, Michael Dean, the Dean of drivers, has some company to the bottom lane. That is the LRE 55. That is Mr. Paul Ellison. Rocking a little bit of a throwback in its own right. Every driver tonight is rocking a throwback scheme, so you'll be seeing a little bit of a different look on some of these drivers and maybe just a little bit more character from these guys too. And you can't go wrong with a little bit of character now, can you guys? Well, we'll go on board here with that 55 Ellison here. I'm just going to give you guys a little inside look and just see how well you've got to maneuver through this track. You got to maneuver through these corners because this place will absolutely take you apart if you're not too careful. But the obstacle that you're going to face the most of, without a doubt, is just the corners. This is a very, very slicked up track. It's a very tight little track, and it can get the better of some of these guys when they least expect it. So watch for a lot of drivers to really be taking their time early and using their skill and practices really late into this race. That's going to be one thing you'll see a lot of throughout. Patience is the key in the aspect. Don't burn the tires up too quick. Don't let yourself get too ramped up. Andy Blicky, Jeff Langston both kind of doing that as Ryan Dyke holds the lead for now after his heartbreaker last time out at Myrtle Beach. The W number 1 though, that is gonna be Mr. Anderson there coming right through the field, and he is looking for some run, looking for a little extra kick around there, but he is not quite finding it yet. Bobby Anderson, that one coming out like a house on full of fire and like a blaze of glory, looking to try to make an impression on everybody out of the gate. With the 11 of Michael Crawl, not feeling too good about that, doesn't like that too much, but it appears the one maybe having some problems as well, trying to stay under control. How about this for a throwback? How about that UPS 88 David Fay? If that is not a Daryl Jarrett scheme, and I don't know what is, that is an absolute good looking scheme right there. Beautiful design, crisp and course. It's a darn shame we just don't see UPS anymore out on those cars, man, or those trucks. That's a darn shame. Very good looking piece of equipment, very good ride there. He is currently picking up with the F-150 camp. The Toyota Tundra though ahead of him, the 76 as Pascal Samard as the race lead away from him in that position, if you will. Race lane is what I meant to say. The 76 currently is holding a 15 spot. I don't know why. I did not mean lead as in the leaders. That would be going to Ryan Dye in this case, and even that might be at stake here. Here comes that Nissan number 32 of Andy Blicky right now to that back bumper, the 15, so Ryan Dye. Dye trying to hold his line up on the top, bottom down, sent to the top. Here comes the 32. Palicki straight to the inside. Now it's time for Palicki to take his shot and take his course. Into the bottom, and in the Game of Thrones looking to try to play that game all too well. He throws one right to the middle now, looks to try to win this battle. He wants that real estate, he wants that land, but Dye with a counter offer and a counter attack sends it to the top, back to the bottom, blockade with the Skittles 15, and it's now Dye who is able to hold back Palicki, but Palicki still will not go down. Robert Van Ness asking about the what does the C stand for? I believe that means the champ. I believe they were champion of that series, of that season. I believe that's what it stands for. I'm not completely for sure there. Tony Westcott was the one that asked what does the C stand for at the end of the last name. That's what I'm presuming. I'm not completely for sure, but you guys can kind of get me on me about that. I'm presuming that means championship is what it tends to talk to. Lucky right now continues to hold the bottom lane down, has taken the lead away. He has won this game of the Thrones, but will he be able to hold him back for long? Ryan Dye certainly is going to have some company on his side. Here comes that 21. Jeff Langston's one of those cats you just can't get your head around. You can't let him off too quickly and easily. He has had some great races this season. May have been a little bit earlier on in his go too, but it's not been for the faint of heart. He's been very fast, very smart on his struggles and his speeds. He just hasn't been able to put up a number as of late here on the show, but that can easily change here on this level in this playing field. In the back of the pack right now, some guys moving through the fields as well. Paul Sargent, 49, way back in there with Chad Stearns. He's currently trying to make a bit of a gap off there from the spot he faced earlier on. But he's still in the 18-19 round, but Stearns is starting to make some moves and getting some good drive off the 50 of Corey Rutherford. Finally decided to give back my pace car that the iRacing officials have been begging me to get away from him with. He actually threw out a Phil Stipe 50 machine, although I bet you next week we'll probably end up seeing him steal another pace truck, because right now I think he's feeling like he could be a little faster with that than he is right now. I can't say that I blame him, but I mean, still, I think that 50 looks a lot better than the pace truck does with some tape on it. Just saying there, buddy. Art Sargent off through the distance and through the corners right now. Still, though, Paul Sargent facing down as Chad Stearns in 05, a former race winner here on the show, is already now kind of moving the chains ahead. He's trying to reel and deal his way up, looking for some positions and looking for some gravitational pull to keep up with the rest of the field. Also, I just will let you guys know up in advance, I don't have very many cameras to work with, so I apologize, but what you see is what you get. I'm going to try my best to kind of switch through and flip-flop as much as I possibly can, but I can only do so many cameras with what I've got here, guys. Sorry. Work from satellite, not from the actual station of PT Race TV. Speaking of the station here, it looks like the training station has moved ahead. Brantley Gainey has moved the 22 ahead of the 53, and he is railroad tracking his way ahead of that 53 Red Diamond machine. Still not quite able to keep up his speed, keep up his momentum, maybe back it down to save the tires. We have seen Zittel do this before where he'll just kind of lay low, let everyone be dormant off him, and then he'll just go flat out and book it for the rest of the race, but hasn't seemed to be getting that just yet. Insert coins number 5, Jan Van Leer, and a Crushing Tang 5 machine. Very, very interesting scheme on that one. I like that little white with that very coloration little number there. Tony Westcott saying, all good, sir, doing great on my end. Tony, absolutely awesome to hear, sir. Here comes Mr. Anderson, the W1. Bobby Anderson right now has moved the chains ahead of that 76 Pascal Simard. Battle of the Tundras, as it appears that it will be Anderson who gets the better of Simard here. Moving their way around, though, we've only got about 16, now 17 laps of 94 completed here. We still got quite a bit of racing to go, and it's pretty impressive to me. These guys have been pretty clairvoyant on what they're wanting to do and how they want to handle the track. A lot of them seem to be kind of staying away from burning up on the top side early, but they go into the bottom as well. That does tend to burn the tires up a bit, so for how slow they're taking it, how easier they're getting, I don't know how much rubber they may have been able to lay down on the track, but it looks like they may have laid down just enough to where it doesn't completely derail the momentum and it doesn't derail the speed. But only really time can fully say there. That's going to be a long deal for them, and they know it too. Well, let's go on board here with Pascal and see what he's up to right now as he currently deals with the 88. You can see he's kind of just working towards the middle, towards the bottom lane, maybe trying to keep it from getting too crazy, too out of hand. Very interesting strategy. Very dependent, though, on really making sure the other guy doesn't get too on your nose and on your spot. Andy Palicki, Jeff Langston have both moved ahead of Dye now. Ryan Dye is starting to fade away. Palicki looks like he may be going for a long-term strategy, which is just hit the gas pedal, hit the loud pedal, hope it sticks, and make everything work from there. Still plenty of time left to be had. There's a lot more racing to go, of course, and not a lot of drivers willing to give up spots that easily. One of them just so happens to be the guy that you're going to be going on board here right now with, and that is Mr. Eric Breeg in that 26. Looks like we're about to evade the onboard cam for seconds. We got a 3-wide salute popping off of turn number 2. Breeding in the big black 26, dealing with some marred pace, and Jed Stearns there coming towards that bottom lane. You got a whole host of drivers coming through the packs. Our battle for the top 15 is underway right now. Samard able to take the 15 slot over. Stearns going right there between them. And remember, Stearns and Rutherford not very good on their qualifying times and having some tough breaks there. But Breeding into the wall protection off of turn number 1. Major troubles there. Having to fight the truck off now. There is damage on that right side. That will definitely affect the airflow around on this big track with that 550 horsepower package. Knows as soon as you slam that wall or you get any kind of wreck on the truck itself, your speed decreases, your momentum gets lost in the shuffle, and now it turns more into a dogfight scenario to have to work around. He did not need that to happen. Tony Westcott saying that almost looks sketchy. Could have or will have been. I mean, everyone has their sides on it. I'll say to me, it was just old hard racing. By the way, folks in America, I think we may need to figure out what we determine is good racing versus bad racing or dirty racing, because I think honestly some of our other country folks may have had us beat on hard racing. Just saying. I'm not going to say anything else. I'll tell you when I get off. I'll tell you when I return home from the island, but it's been very interesting where I'm at when it comes to their version of racing. But the version we see of racing right now currently is sees Rutherford and Pascal going right at it. Rutherford gets the Phil Tice 50 machine into a hot start, jumping it right off in the lanes, and now he's got a good run going in through turn number 3 and 4. Holds the line down to the 50. He moves the chains again with Stearns right behind him looking for some momentum. Westcott saying just by the 3-wide racing that early could have been a bad deal. Westcott, it very much could have been, but you know, honestly, I do like it when they go into that kind of run, that kind of momentum. That just shows me they want it. They want to actually get moving. They want to get things really into a next gear, a next level. And the way I look at it, if it's going to be a clean move and drivers know where they're at, where they're going, just like an old dirt track racing, a slider is a slider. You respect the slider and you respect the 3 wides because you know you're going to get there. And contact can be made. It is a contact sport. Being this close and this early on the start, yeah, though it is a very risky move and it's a very tumultuous move in my opinion, and you really can't make too many big moves like that and not expect some kind of mistake to happen too. So that is another thing too. I think really they're just keeping a close eye on, keeping a tab on as well. Getting a good look at our field right now in the Bonehead 141 presented by Sign Zone. Field currently just whipping array around the track. Here comes one guy that has been trying to rip around and figure this track racing stuff out. That's definitely that number 12 with Jeremy McKinnon. He's in the top 10, no surprise there, but the Savage Arms machine as he goes right up to the old Sesame Street 99 at Will Salamone. Now, I know when I heard it was a throwback night, I thought honestly we were going to see more throwback cars. I think we're getting more throwbacks to our generation's youth. Oh my word. Salamone rocking the Sesame Street 99 on that Chevrolet Silverado. What a look on that one. Very interesting design, very cool little look there, but unfortunately it wasn't quite appealing to the Akuma Savage Arms Beast of the 12. As he fights off Cancer as much as he fights everyone else off, the 12 is moving the chains. He's now moved to the nice spot. Makes you kind of wonder, is he coming for the race leaders again like he's been doing so many times this season, just not been able to close the deal out. This would certainly be a time and a place to do it, in my opinion, if he can figure it out. On the onboard camera, though, we are with Ball Ellison in that 55. Deborah Shriver just checking in. Grandma, it's good to hear from you. Still love you. Miss you from back here. Good to hear from all my family and friends and everybody. And to those at home that know this little joke, yes, I'm still alive. I have not been, I've been not taken hostage or anything like that. I'm still breathing. I'm still kicking. And as always, I'd love to just come see you guys on the PTM Racing TV channel. Special thanks to the producers and the boss as well for allowing us and helping us out to get everything set, all done today. Couldn't do it without them. Really appreciate all the support. '51 there, you saw a minute ago. That was Nathan Reynolds in that machine currently staying in that top 10 bracket. The 50 here, Corey Rutherford also up into the binders, up into the nose right now, trying to hang in there with these guys and see if maybe he's going to get something going. Shane Winslow way all over the place as well in that 35. Is not going to get anything figured out at this point. Going to have to just kind of hope for a little bit of a break and a breather here soon. I think maybe kind of expecting a caution to come out too and help him out, but in this case, I don't think that's going to be the situation, because right now, I mean, not having that lap caution break or any having the kind of breaks in general is allowing guys like the 05 of Chad Stearns to just muscle and pound this track down and make it so much more difficult to work around. The Air Jordan's Toyota Tundra is looking to claim the honors. He's in top 10 brackets right now. Just needs to get a little bit further up right now currently through the field. In the 16th slot, I should say, not top 10. I have to miscommunicate myself there. Rutherford, the 50 full stice, and the quick trip red diamond 53 Toyota Tundra man himself, Kyle Zittel, our first season winner of the season again. What a position and what a place it was for him. Then he just came back from the starting line, staying from the points, and just took home everybody's position in that Daytona race. Needed that win more than anything. He was looking for it for so long, as we was told by the drivers and himself as well. And since then, hasn't quite been on the top spot there, and it looks like Rutherford might lose a spot after that little slip up in turn number 4. Really loose goes the Pro V1 Phil Stites 50 Chevrolet Silverado. Nearly lost it in the corner there, but hanged on. Deborah Sharp saying looks so different. Well, Grandma, currently I'm on vacation, so we had to use something. Unfortunately, and thankfully, SimRacingApps.com was kind enough to help us out, so that's what we got. Newport 8 of Josh Maxwell right now, trying to bring it back to the old Winston days, because he's got some company coming up, flat out booking it through the corners, coming for him. Down to the bottom lane, Rutherford has got position, takes control, gets it by the 8. He'll now move the chains. Some drivers have headed into pit road as well. Some of them, including the likes of Ryan Dye in that 15 and Eric Breeding, they've all gone through. So now they will take their little advantages and a little time to kind of work around, see what they can get done. They need all the tire and all that fuel to help last them out through this race. This is a very, very intensely long race and a very long frame of setup. A lot of guys looking for speed and maximum potential here. As Jeff Langston has now crossed up there a little bit with the 32 of Andy Palicki. You can see Palicki trying to get away. Palicki will not give him much room though, and that 21 of Langston knows it this well too. Westcott, you are allowed to say it on the chat. Also, I was going to say as well to my folks over there back at home, good luck to you in the Super Nationals. I know I got a few folks from my town going over there to race, and I know a lot of the heavy hitters are heading there, so good luck to you all, and may the best driver win there. Langston, the Rotellet, number 21, Ford F-150. Been rocking that scheme for quite a while here. He hasn't really gotten rid of it. He just says he just kind of likes having it. He says he feels like it just works for him and works for what he's got. I concur, and it definitely does what he needs to, so as long as it works and does what it needs to, I mean, there's nothing else to say or nothing else to really worry about. Always work with what you got and use it to your fullest potential. Well, he's certainly doing that. Problem is he's not going to get much of a chance to breathe because here comes company behind. Remember, these are lap down drivers. Ryan Dye, that 15 and that 51 of Nathan Reynolds. They're both a lap down. They're just trying to get their laps back as soon as possible. And with that speed they're carrying through, I think Palicki knows he's going to probably need to head to pit road sooner rather than later to increase his chances of keeping his lead and continuing to reign supreme here on the track. Once the driver starts to get really hard on the gas and hard on the throttle, you know they're going to be trying to come up to you as quick as you can. Pit stops critical here, and fuel consumption very much so the endeavor. Chad Stearns getting out of pit road in the 05. We'll see how he handles it from here, being a lap down. The 8 of Cole Maxwell here, just doing his own little thing in that Newport 8 Chevrolet Silverado. Michael Samar coming on board here as well. Thanks for tuning on in. There's Samar. The rooting off for Pascal Samar here. A little bit back in the field though. The 76 currently gonna have to work his way up a little bit more. Still having some troubles down there, keeping speeds up. Meanwhile, speed being critical here. Look out for that 73. The Dina drivers himself, Michael Dean, the Baby Ruth crunch machine. Trying not to get crunched there as he gets a little bit loose with John Kay, kind of poking it right about in the back there. Kay was coming up right towards him, didn't quite want to hit him though, and then backs off him down the bottom. Kay will send to the outside, make his run for it here as the 22 even. Brantley Gainey gets a nice pass off that. Taking full control and full effort for that. No issues here. Brantley Gainey has now moved the chains. He's in the top 5 and he's piloting it quickly here. And right now you see the lap counter as well. No, you're not deceiving. You're not going crazy here. I think right now Palicki and them may be trying to go for the halfway run. This is where you literally drive for only half the race, and then the next half you go and get a full pit stop, full tires, full fuel, and only use what you have to until the very last bit of that race, which allows you to only have to do 1 pit stop versus 2, which is what Ryan Dye seems to be up to. That's why you saw him driving so hard to get to Palicki as soon as possible to try to get the best opportunity to take control of his run, take control of this race. Advantage though so far goes to Mr. Palicki, as well as Langston and Ellison, who seem to be kind of hanging right there behind him in that spot, in that role. Kyle Zillow now working his way through lap traffic. The 99 Will Salamoni will be up ahead of him. Then is 12 Jeremy McKinnon. Everybody getting their stuff in right now, just trying to get the most of their work and most of their drive here. But you get to see how much momentum and flow it just takes to keep these things in control and in the proper suit there. Hard to really say who is going to have the fullest of runs though, because again, we still have yet to see how long that fuel mileage run will go. Once Palicki and Langston decide to choose their fate, that will be then their end of their cause. The 8 of Cole Maxwell letting the 11 by. I believe the 11 is a lap down, which is, of course, Mr. Michael Crawl. Have to see on our end here, and it looks like, yeah, I believe he is a lap down at the moment. Yeah, there's Cole Maxwell in the 8. He was already passed up there, so. Up now by taking back, actually. Crawl is on the lead lap. He's in the 12th spot now, just moving himself into the 11th spot. So the Jewel 11, I've got to make my apologies known. Crawl is taking over position here, and he is now moving the chains ahead. Bilicki still not going down. Langston nearly going down off turn number 4 there. Really loose in the corner and really loose off the exit. Lucky he saved that one when he did. Otherwise, that could have been a very, very bad spot to throw himself into, and he knew it. He very much well knew it. But you can see the Rotella 21 F-150 will not go down without a fight. Bilicki knows this. But will he be chasing him down this entire race? That is the big question. It is one thing to go big, to go broke, but it's another to actually make your presence felt. Halfway, nearly completed, and it's still all eyes are on what could be best described as just a long-term strategy and setup. Everybody doing what they need to here. Michael Crawl here had some work around earlier. Now it's time for Michael Dean to deal with something here with the 12 of Jerry McKinnon. McKinnon then down the bottom lane and heading for pit road. Carrying a little bit of speed, maybe just kind of rile up the chains of the 73 here, maybe making him think that there was some room there for him to make an effort, but not to be. Moves it in now towards the top 5, and now Will Salamone here looking to get right back at him here, not giving him up any momentum and not giving up any speed. That much is for certain. Now the halfway point finally has been reached, and the Dina drivers will go in. Paul Ellison's already in. The 21's already in. Andy Bilicki is the only one that stayed out. He is going to go for a halfway distance run. But again, will that work out, and will that be able to finish on a very good note? If you ask me, I think honestly this is probably the race that will end up getting him that 3rd win of the season. He's got 2 in a row already in his name, and now the halfway point finally reached. I think he may be ready to add just one more to that truck. Back of the pack, though, Nathan Reynolds, the 51, moves up ahead of Ryan Dye earlier in the 15, and now the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Pals 51 is making things much, much more difficult for anybody that's in his way. Both guys are on the lead lap. They're just trying to get up there towards the front of the pack where Ellis and Gainey and them are, and then of course where Bilicki lays in wait. Reynolds about 16 seconds back, so he's about half the truck length, about the track length back, not a truck length I should say. 2 completely different things, believe it or not. Ellison though starting to fade as well. Looks like the LRE Toyota Tundra currently maybe feeling some pressure and feeling some way down on his end. I would say if anything you might want to be heading towards pit road here sooner rather than later, because honestly it's getting closer and closer. So looking more like a hard drive run. Bilicki has got it in pit road. Ellison though, I mean, I don't know what's going through his mindset, but he seems to want to stay out as long as possible here. I think he honestly may be a little bit of afraid of that old pit stop as well as of a caution to come out. So I think maybe he's trying to extend as much life as possible on laps to maybe gain back with a fresh set of tires. But really, in my opinion, this race is going to be more about just trying to survive the actual drive off with how hard these tires are getting beaten up and how hard this track has tore up some equipment. You seen earlier on, Eric Breeding, he got loose, got a little too close to his own good, and then ended up sending it towards the wall protection on the outside of turn number 1. Hasn't really been able to recover that, but I'll tell you what, guys, still were able to recover That's Nathan Reynolds, the 51. He's your new leader as Ryan Dye tries to hunt him down. We're going to go on board with old Ryan Dye. We can feel the power and hear that roar of those motors just getting put to good use. It's 550 horsepower package of these Gander Outdoor Truck Series, which I can't quite say that name for too much longer, because guess what? Just confirmed this week and the time of the booking here, we have found out Craftsman is going to come back in the 2023 season. So you will be calling this the Craftsman Truck Series. And for those at home that don't know, that is honestly something that I grew up around when I was literally just getting into NASCAR, getting into racing. I knew about the Craftsman Truck Series and the Whelen Modifieds, and then the Nextel Cup Series, and the Busch Series, of course, which was now known as the Xfinity Series. What a time and a different place that was, and how crazy things have changed. I guess the more they change, the more they stay the same. Just wish NASCAR kind of figured that one out. North Wilkesboro. Anyway, all biases aside right now, currently the rest of the field figuring out their place, trying to figure out their spot on the card. No one been able to really dial it up well, though, unless you're the guys that are going for the first pit stop or going for the late pit stop and still being able to carry that speed. Nathan Reynolds, though, looked like he may have learned from that mistake, may have learned from his efforts there, and has currently been holding back the speed of the 15 Ryan Dye. But Dye right now seems to be getting a little bit impatient, because the Skittles machine is now literally right on that back bumper of Reynolds. He might be trying to get ahead of the field as quick as possible here, and maybe trying to make for a good drive off. He knows Palicki earlier on used his halfway strategy on fuel, so he knows he's going to be going for broke here. Doesn't matter how close or how far he is off, he will be coming for him. But Reynolds right now is getting to be hunted down by the 15. Dye trying to get right there underneath him, trying to seal the deal, get the spot. Needs a hard drive off. They're side by side, drag racing off the back stretch. Entering the turn now, it is Dye to the bottom. The Skittles 15 tells the Reese's Cups 51 to feel the rainbow and taste that rainbow off of turn 4, because the 15 is your new leader. Ryan Dye regains the lead. 38 laps remaining right now. This is starting to be a bit of a slugfest between these guys, between everybody on the track. No one been able to really kind of whip their way around the track and stay more in position than really these three drivers, and even Langston kind of mixed it in. Jeff Langston at 21, and the 51 of Nathan Reynolds, and the 15 Ryan Dye have been, in my opinion, your four heavy hitters of this race, which is surprising again, because usually you would consider probably Dye and Langston in that pack. But Nathan Reynolds really coming back home strong and really firing it hard, and even Andy Palicki starting to finally see a little bit of a change in the speed and change the gaps, and he's really starting to take full control of that. My ultimate feeling, though, is will he be able to use it for the rest of the season? Remember, we don't have very, very many races left, so that can all turn on him quicker than he knows it. rallying the troops back up through the field right now. Of course, here we're seeing some guys currently just dealing with their added pressure and added pains and misery they may have been brought through here. 28 camp right now currently. That is Rodney Roberts here. The gear wrench has some major damage on that left rear corner panel as well as the back wing of the truck, the spoiler. So that definitely is going to slow him down, pretty much cause the truck to be more like a parachute here, causing the speeds to just completely cave in and have nothing to go for. As he's hunted out by Cole's Custom Shop, 18 Tundra driver of Mr. Kyle Dumick. Kyle Dumick there on the inside now, taking the reign of the speed and the controls, and now going right towards the bottom. He's got the line, he's got the sights, and it's now all Dumick. Moving further through the field, currently trying to battle lap downers as well as himself in this case. Hoping to seal maybe a chance here in the later half of the stage, but he knows he's not in a proverbial spot right now like he would want to. Ryan Dye is going also into pit road. Nathan Reynolds has headed into pit road as well, so they are going to be in a very bold strategy. As you know, the guy that was waiting for him to do it, Andy Palicki, has his hands tied a little bit here because Jeff Langston, with that pit strategy he did a minute ago, actually going in just a little bit earlier, might actually be enough to start taking control and taking care of these guys. If I was Dye right now, as well as Reynolds, I'd be getting those tires as soon as possible and getting back out on that track with all the fuel I need to get this race finished. This is a very tough little deal to deal with, and this is a very tight little spot to find yourself in. If you're any driver out for that matter, it's not where you want to be in there. Going on board here, we're with the 88. This is David Vick. Robert Van Ness saying, these guys are doing great. I don't like a bunch of cautions. Yeah, I agree with that, Robert. I like it when they can keep it clean, keep it good, but still have the hard racing to go with it. We did see that earlier on. That's what they've been doing. Tony Westcott saying pretty clean race so far. It has been indeed, and it's honestly no surprise. The Venom Truck Series drivers, they're usually pretty on point, pretty on target with how they know each other and how they work with each other. That's why I see a lot of guys just continuously coming back here and wanting to race. 24 of the best of the Venom Truck Series guys came out here to race, and they came out to put on a little show for not only you fans at home, but also for themselves. They are doing it here and now in the Homestead Miami Speedway here in Homestead, Florida. Mile and a half at length. Actually, originally, if you guys believe it, the first configuration of this track was more of a IndyCar mix up there. It was actually more designed like the Indianapolis 500, just in a lower bank, more square-shaped track. Yeah, if you can believe it, that was their original plan. That's originally what they thought they were going to do and they were going to go with. But obviously, that's not the case. They had to get the banking in there, and they added it up for the NASCAR drivers because IndyCar stopped going there. And when that started happening, now you've got kind of the configuration we have today that ranks many fans out here say Homestead Miami is one of, if not maybe the best tracks for the racing as well as for what it could represent in the overall product for a championship race. Westcott saying, yeah, but I have a feeling it might get a little bumpy closer to the end. Yeah. Tony, I won't lie, I don't know if that will be fully the case. As long as everyone stays out of trouble, I presume we'll be able to keep this one under green for the rest of the time being. But if we do get a caution somewhere in there, well, let's just say the hounds may be loose there. Also, just a quick reminder at home, race fans, we will be live and back here on Pete Series TV Thursday night as the Pit Stall Summer Series is going to bring you a treat. Daytona International Speedway is next up. If you guys want to talk about some wild racing and some wild packs, oh, you haven't seen nothing yet. We'll see it all come down live here on the Thursday night edition. And that will for sure be our last call of this week. We will then have Wednesday afternoon or night, depending on where you're coming from, with some action from the Venom Truck Series and Shim Power Equipment Fast and Fun Cup Series. So you'll see that here on the show as well. And then we will be pretty much clairvoyant and away from the studio for a little bit longer. I will be back. We'll be back home and all situated out by September 11th. So we hope to see you all by then, and we hope to see everybody still on the broadcast again soon enough with all our fun toys and our fun stuff we usually use. So I apologize again for having to go back to the old way, but again, guys, not much I can really do. Anyway, enough of all that talk and all that. We're right now still ready to finish out here with the Bonehead 141 presented by Sign Zone here for the Venom Truck Series. We're coming closer and closer to the end with Corey Rutherford kind of stabilizing up in that top 10 bracket. He did have a little bit of a whiff of it earlier, but now he is for sure locked in it. Ninth slot here, currently staying in control with Mr. Anderson, Bobby Anderson, literally hot on his trail and hot on his tail as he's trying to kick up some Kickstart My Heart energy from W in the number 1. We go on board with Anderson. Bobby Anderson right now in the top 10 with company coming from behind. Watch out for old Eric Breeding. Although Breeding actually, I should say, is a lap down too. So we'll have to see if he can get a clean pass here on that one or if the Anderson will let him by. He does indeed. Which means now the 50 has to make a choice whether or not to let that 26 by him and then risk slowing him down a little bit more for Rutherford to catch up to him. This is always that big dilemma in this thing that a lot of fans and drivers talk about constantly, which is if you're a lap down, don't fight with me and don't try to make things harder on me. Let me get in my own spot here. Well, and then you saw a good example of what that can do to you. Sometimes Rutherford overdrive in the corner off turn number 4, lost control, and now has some help, and now has somebody right on his tail. Bobby Anderson with some serious gain on him. Knows he can't let him get any more. He may be in trouble later. Jeff Langston in the 21 right now, currently the Rotalet machine. He is slowing down a little bit. He is conserving and saving fuel right at the moment. He wants to try to get the most of what he got. He knows he is getting closer and closer to the end of this race, and he is in a very tight spot. Palicki saved up his fuel, saved up his timing, and his strategy is starting to really pay off. Langston's looks like it could pay off, but it's going to be a very tight flip of the coin to really know for sure as we go on board of them. You can just see how far Palicki is from him as he continues to hold him back. Langston now under 20 laps remaining here, has got a good chance to take this one home, but again you can see Palicki just continuing to get closer and closer to him. Knows he's got a great chance here, he's got a great opportunity to make a fight at Langston. But again, when they get up to each other here, that then brings the whole destination versus the reward. The journey is quite the occasion, but the destination is what Plicky cares about the most right now. He wants to face victory lane again. He's been a while since he's been able to do it, and he wants to get it done here. Langston, though, same situation, same boat. Langston has been pretty much tight and close cornered here, but has yet to really close off the deal. And now he's got an awesome opportunity to do it, but also got guys like Brantley Gainey right now also taking full control of the efforts and mistakes that you saw Ryan Dye make earlier, as well as Nathan Reynolds. Those guys starting to really make a fight, triumphant comeback to the top 10, but they are nowhere near where they really think and feel they should be, and I can agree to that wholeheartedly. 22, Brantley Gainey now has to work his way around even more lap traffic. The 18 there of Kyle Dumick. Staying up to the outside wall, gets in the wall protection, lets the 22 on by. Gainey will make the pass and make a good court for him. And Jeremy McKinnon even making a good little fight back off to him. He's trying to get the 12 up towards that 22. He's looking for the third spot and the podium as we go on board with Gainey. I meant to say hop on the onboard camera to McKinnon, who's hunting down Gainey. That is my apologies there. Saw that onboard camera there working his way around, working the speed, working the dilemma and the timing. Do a great job of it, but even McKinnon now has more company on his hands. He was trying to get to Gainey, but yeah, he's gonna have to deal with the 55 here. As Paul Ellison, the LRE and the LRE 55 is now making another huge comeback here. 16 laps left to go. No mistakes needed here. Just stay focused on your drive and stay focused on your shots. Forget about the rest. McKinnon a little bit loose off turn number 4 there. They keep it clean though. McKinnon now has Ellison literally right on his back corner panels. What will Ellison do? Will he try to make the run for it on the bottom and steal a position, or will he try to stay in that draft on the outside? Well, he's going to make his decision here for 3 and 4. It looks like he's going to go for the move here. No, can't quite get the drive off, and the 55 now seems to have a little bit of a glitch graphic gremlin bug getting him. McKinnon trying to use that to his advantage here and make him slow down just a little bit more. McKinnon top side looking in. Ellison does the bottom. It is side-by-side drag racing yet again on a big oval like this. It is absolutely something to see here, folks. Two guys with two completely different strategies. McKinnon trying to use up any kind of the tire or any kind of the truck he can, while also seeing the 55 use all the momentum on that bottom lane. And now it's Ellison who takes full control. Eric Breeding a lap down still. He is not really in this war. He's not in this fight, but he doesn't really seem to care. He's just going to try to get around him quickly here. Trying to get that lap back with only a mere 13 laps remaining. I was going to say 12 there, but that meant 20, and then now it's actually 13, so I apologize, guys. Well, it will be 12 laps here off of 3 and 4. Langston. Now, whoa. Hold on, Langston. Hold on. Woo. Well, that 21 about went for a ride, and now he's going to go for even more of a ride. Here comes Palicki. Down the inside. The Rotella 21 try to hang on with the strategy. This isn't going to help him much. Here comes Palicki. And Palicki just making the move on the inside. The Nissan 32 regains the lead. Just like that, one slip up, one wrong move, and it's literally game over here. But Langston, no quit, no give, all fight and hard. The 21 will not go down. 11 laps remain. Things are cooking up around here, and that 32 knows it too. Langston trying to hold on, trying to keep his speed up. He's got to draft him. He can't rely on the turns no more. He literally lost it in 3 and 4 just off a bad turn, over driving and over accelerating. Now he's got to find a way to actually get his speeds back in those turns by using the speed and draft trying to stay within that clean air of Palicki to then get right to his back bumper for the drive off. He needs all the help he can get at this point. 10 laps to go. Kyle Zittel and them right now are not on the lead lap. They are currently lap traffic. They're just trying to stay out of trouble and trying to get their lead lap back in case some caution or something does pop out here. We are not for sure of that. It could easily happen at this point. We just saw what a couple of loose screws and loose ends can do for these drivers. Cole Maxwell in the 8, sitting on the outside, knows he's kind of already done for, so he's staying out of trouble. Good on him. As they pop it right off turn number 4, though, look out for the 3 wide sloop there between the 8, the 05, and the 35. Janser, oh, that's what we were waiting for. That's where we're a little nervous. Stearns, can he hang on? He does. But unfortunately, does end up in the grass. He's trying to get into the straightaway. He does not want that caution to come out. It will not. Good move on him and a very respectable move by Stearns to get out of the gas where he was. But my word, that was a huge little hit he took from the 35 all of a sudden. The PTM Racing TV does not, replay does not lie, and it shows all the tell-all. Here's what happened here. Got trapped between a rock and a hard place. The 35 here, look at this. Winslow just barely clips him. And unfortunately, too little too late. No give, no quit. But all trouble, unfortunately, for the 05. What a tough break there, and what a huge break. Just thrown right at him that he did not want to see at all. Langston now dealing with that 28, moving up ahead of him here. That's Ronnie Roberts. The gear wrench 28 again, 3 laps down, damaged up badly earlier, and right now this race is kind of all but out of his reach. The 32 of Andy Palicki currently only 7 laps remaining, trying to hang on as Jeff Langston continues to stay behind his back corner panels and behind his doors. Speaking of behind their doors, we're seeing a lot of door bumping, door banging back there. Paul Sargent, the 49, going at it with the Newport 8 of Cole Maxwell. Both guys literally in a hot pursuit and a battle for position and reign and sprint and gain. Maxwell, oh my goodness. I've seen more rear ends kicked out of here more than I usually see at the club on a Friday night. My word. The turn 4 seems to be getting the better of these guys in some of these areas. Langston got caught and literally lost his lead because of it. Saw McKinn earlier on get loose in that corner. Brian Dye lost a lot of time. So did Nathan Reynolds. You just saw literally the 8 of Cole Maxwell save it and end up getting himself out of trouble. And the 49 of Paul Sargent nearly capitalizing on it, but did not have the time or the speed to get around it. It was 6 laps to go. He's not having any chance of getting his last back at this point. The way I'm looking at it, 5 now to go. Palicki, your leader. Laps remaining. Palicki currently maneuvering through lap traffic, trying to stay out of trouble. Knows that he cannot be making any more mistakes. Knows he cannot be getting too crazy with this. This is a very tight spot to find yourself in with 3 laps to go. As soon as he can get that white flag out, he can breathe a sigh of relief because he really doesn't have to worry anything about anything there. But until that white flag comes out to avoid the cautions, he's going to have to deal with the added pressure of now the mental grind and drive. Here comes Langston slowing up earlier on, and now a last-ditch effort, a last boom, if you will, coming right for the Nissan 32. Palicki is in trouble. Sending it down to the bottom lane here. Winslow from the 35, laps down, currently dealing with Simard and Zittel while they go 2 to go. I thought Plicky may have left Langston all but dead on arrival, but I think maybe we have to figure that out again. He didn't leave him high and dry enough. Langston has caught right there with Palicki. We're going to be coming to a white flag this time from the front straightaway with Langston close in regards, close in position. He's going to have his hands full here. Here we go. White flag high in the air this time on by. We've got it out, and Palicki needs 4 good corners to hold Langston back. Can Langston get to him? Can he get one more drive off? He's pushing this thing to its absolute limits. You can see the rear end just slightly kicking out. The front end just diving. The turns off. Los off of 2. Even more trouble now. Langston's in big trouble. Lost all that speed. The power is gone. Into the wall he goes. And Andy Palicki off of turn 3 into turn number 4 will bring the Nissan 32 Ford F-150 into victory lane yet again. Palicki wins at Homestead, Miami. The Bonehead 141 belongs to him. Oh, what a story and a drive to survive here, race fans. Andy Palicki gave it his heart and soul, and that strategy. He went with a halfway spot to go into pit road, and the strategy was absolutely genius to pop this one in for a win. But give your credit and give your heart and soul to where the 21 camp was at. The Royal Tellet machine of Langston gave it everything he had and went for broke when he knew it may not work in the end, but he still tried it. It just did not work here. Palicki takes this one home. What a race, what a drive out here, race fans. Great stuff from these guys. It's time to talk with your top 3. We stopped with the top 3 here, and your third place driver today in the Big 22. You got to give it credit where credit's due. Brantley Gainey will take home the third spot. Gainey, congratulations on that third spot here in the 22. And, you did make a little noise earlier on in the race. Kind of catch back and see where you were at and where you were pulling up to. And you had a few times where you kind of made some noise to these boys and kind of remind them, hey, I'm still in this hunt. But a third place finish definitely well deserved to show for a podium.
Yeah, man, it was a great race, but definitely did not expect to get a podium out of it. Give credit where it's due. We're running the Okuma theme from Jimmy McKinnon last season for our throwback. It must have been the good luck. Teammates did a fantastic job getting me prepared for this week. And I'm just stoked that I was able to drive from, I think, 13th to 3rd.
Yeah, we know the throwback week was kind of the night here. Definitely a bit of a throwback to the good old days of just some hard racing, some good times without that pesky caution kind of always coming in to intervene. And, we talk about it constantly, though, Gainey, that it's so hard these days to really find these wins when you can. But a podium, much less, it seems like that's also becoming a bit of a challenge. What's your thoughts on that here after this one in Homestead?
Oh man, it was if we'd had a caution, it would have threw our entire race strategy off. It was a one-stop race for us. Some of the other guys pulled 2 stops, and I finished just in front of them, so they were coming. But all in all, man, it was a great run. Like I said, I still kind of shocked that we were able to pull the podium out.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, what a performance and a great race here in your case here. Gainey, I got to ask you, man, you're coming away 3rd. Who do you want to thank you for that?
Man, I got to thank my team. I want to give a huge thanks to my wife and kids. They were watching the whole race, giving me all the good luck and prayers.
For sure there. nevertheless, here, Gainey, congratulations on this third place finish, and we certainly hope to see you next time on out here, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandley Gainey coming away third in the number 22 camp. Coming away, though, in that second spot today, we got to give our hat and tip the nod to the 21. Jeff Langston will take home that one here. And Langston, congratulations on a second place finish, but I know that was not what you intended off turn 2 to get loose and into that wall. I know you were hunting for Palicki's spot there.
Oh, for sure. He had run an extra couple of laps. We were both on a one-stop strategy, and I knew he was coming. I was watching the tracker, and yeah, I was just running pretty hard there and made a couple little mistakes. Gave it up, and then some lap traffic slowed me down a couple times. Nobody's fault at all. Just lap traffic. It is what it is. But yeah, it was a good race. I felt like if it went green, the one-stop strategy would probably be the way to go. You just never know in these things. But yeah, I'm happy with the second place finish for sure.
For sure there. I know there was a lot at stake here too. I know when you're kind of figuring things out, the drive was getting a little bit crazier, getting a little bit longer, but it seemed like constantly you never gave in or gave out, and it seemed like even too at one point that truck looked like it was giving out. Was the truck just getting extremely loose and harder to control, you think?
It was, and it was me. I knew those guys were going to be coming hard that were doing two stops, and I probably that second run there at the end, I didn't save enough rear grip. I was being pretty hard on the throttle and kind of drifting it a little bit most of that last run, so it was on me. I should have saved a little more rear tire, but you live and learn.
Live and learn indeed, but hey, nevertheless, second place finish for you, Langston. Who do you want to thank here, man?
I always thank my teammate Andy. We always race each other hard and learn from each other, and it was fun.
It was fun indeed. It was a great showing here. Congratulations once more on a second place finish here, Langston.
Thank you.
Jeff Langston, ladies and gentlemen, the 21 comes away second, but the man that will take home the glory and the top honors in the Bonehead 141, give his due, give him credit. Andy Palicki brings it home again. Andy, it's been a time since we've seen you here in pit road, and it's such a time that I didn't really think we were going to see you here for a while, buddy. We missed you.
Well, it's always great to be back in victory lane. Third victory of the season. So yeah, Daytona Road Course was the last one. So a few weeks, had some bad luck in between, kind of some hard fought battles in between. So it was good to be out front the entire race. Qualified well, put in some good laps. Great strategy. So.
A great strategy indeed, and great workaround as well. I'm going to ask you this too. It seemed like you had a lot of guys coming for you constantly in that spot, and you literally had to hunt down as well of Langston there for a second. But when he came back up to you, was there a little bit of nerves kind of kicking in for what he was maybe possibly up to there, you think?
No, I knew I had a little bit better tire, pitting a little bit later than him. I was able to save a little bit more than he was. I saw him running pretty hard. It took a lot of discipline to not spin him off the corner, kind of like that. So, it was like you said, a hard fat battle to get up, and it was just kind of making sure, hitting your marks every single lap the whole time.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, hit your marks, hit your spots, and a Bonehead 141 later, you've got this one in the bag. The race belongs to you. So let me ask you this, sir. Who do you want to thank for all this?
Thank my team, Jeff and Jeremy. They do a great job every single week. So it's a great 1-2 finish for us. I think Jeremy ended up in 6th, so top 10. The guys at Zittling, we've got a great alliance with them, being able to bounce stuff off back and forth. And then obviously my sponsors, Nissan Wichita Falls. Thank them for being on the truck. Got a special paint scheme, kind of throwing back to John Kay's first win, and Nathan Reynolds' tumultuous race at Bristol. So the Rowdy Burns team wins again. So it's great to put this truck back in victory lane, or this livery back in victory lane.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, as you guys prepare off for the battles at Talladega, we appreciate you coming on board. Congratulations on this race win. We'll see you next time out here, buddy.
Yes, sir. Talladega will be a fun one. That is their closest finish in league history. We literally had a dead heat last time we were there.
Well, see if we have one more coming our way, but nevertheless, congratulations here. We can't wait to see you next time out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Palicki, your race winner, the Bonehead 141 belongs to him. And with that, we now send our way off into the Shadow Realm for now. It has been an absolute pleasure to call for you fans out here on the show. Been a pleasure to see you guys back out here with us as always. We love and thank you and miss you for all that you've done for us. We can't wait to see you guys next time on out. But we will see you then on Thursday. For all of us here at Pizza Race TV, we thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time when the green flag flies on Pizza Racing TV.